Is this the mini Grand Canyon? Looks like it, but there is an interesting story behind this crack in the ground. Let's talk about it today. Hi, my name is Cheyenne Blue. I'm a real estate agent with Country Air Properties over in Lake County, California. Here, I like sharing interesting stories, facts, and histories surrounding Lake County and the areas around it, as well as a little bit of real estate stories here and there. If you like videos like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Now, let's get into the story, shall we? The Lake County Crack is located on Manning Flat between Lower Lake and Kelseyville. If you look here, there is a fault that is nearby, but this crack, it was not caused by the fault. Bedford Manning built his home here in 1851. The original idea was to use the land for farming, but this proved to be a pretty difficult task due to the nature of the land. You see, Manning Flat was originally a valley with no natural outlet. Water would have accumulated and created seasonal lakes around the property, drowning out the lands and making it hard to grow anything out there. So he needed to do something in order to remedy this problem. What did Manning come up with? He decided to build a tunnel in order to drain the water into Thurston Lake, which at one point was known as Little Clear Lake. Thurston Lake, as you can see, is much smaller than Clear Lake. If you see it in person, you'll notice that the water looks very dead and kind of milky. The reason for this is that the volcanic ash kind of stays suspended in the water and gives it that kind of grayish look to it. So, I mean, why not have all the other water drain into the murky lake, right? Makes sense. Now we know that this wasn't the best idea. Remember how I said that the fault was close by? Not only was the fault close by, but the type of dirt that is located in Manning Flat is very loose and volcanic, which makes it erode very quickly. It really wasn't exactly Manning's fault. He didn't know that anything like this would happen. I mean, the soils and stuff, that was not common knowledge. It was not common knowledge that the looser soils would erode and cause an issue. It also wasn't common knowledge where the fault lines were, or really what fault lines were in general. So yeah, he built the tunnel, and because of the type of soil and the movement from the fault, it eroded very, very quickly, and the tunnel collapsed on itself in 1915. Now that's not the end of this. When the collapse first happened, it wasn't anywhere near as deep as we see now. Not even close. When the drainage ditch was dug, there was already a large body of water that was up further. So when you first had it collapse in, yeah, there's still water passing through, but there's a lot more water passing through in the very beginning, and it kept going through and through and through every year, making the ditch deeper and deeper, creating this huge gully at an amazing rate. It would knock off large chunks of rock and soil weighing tons, and it would cave off into the torrent of water. Cracks would even form 6 to 8 feet back and crumble off more and more and more, just creating a deeper and deeper and deeper ditch. And we see this continuing on today. Yeah, over 100 years this has been going on. So much so that it crept up to Highway 29, and it has to be moved 2 miles to the south. So if you're wondering what's been going on with all that construction heading over towards that end of the lake, that's what's going on. Someone done messed up over 100 years ago, and we're paying for it today. Interesting butterfly effect, right? This project is the largest highway project done in Lake County in the last 50 years, costing a whopping $59 million. Plans to do this project actually started back in the 1980s, so the planning for it has been about 40 years in the making. It is estimated that over 800,000 cubic yards of material are going to be excavated, and 350,000 cubic yards of material are going to be taken away, and not all of that's going to be rock. Granted, on top of moving it over, plans also include safety measures for motorists for easier transportation, which include bigger highway shoulders, 2 lanes in each direction with plenty of width for passing, curves that are up to current highway standards, 3 or 4 acceleration, deceleration lanes, a smoother, easier drive, and a full width median. It will also create opportunities for vehicles to pass a lot more safely. Now, there are other stories that surround the ditch. Some residents believe that their ancestors got a hold of dynamite and used it to dig the ditch. A lawyer recalls a client that owned the property in the 1970s, and they claimed that the ditch now butts up to the highway and leads runoff from a creek. So their belief was that the county was the one that created the ditch and that the county needed to pay for it. The client actually asked for the county to pay them $20,000 in order to put in a culvert to remedy the problem. Would have been 20 grand. 59 million. But at the same time, it probably would have just continued to get worse, but still interesting. The other irony of this is before Manning actually dug the tunnel, the county was actually asked to help with the construction of the tunnel. If this had been done and there had been more investigation, we probably could have avoided this, but the county declined in helping with the digging. If you look at Manning Flat and the canyon from Google Earth, you can see that the ditch is spanning from Highway 29 out to the Greater Canyon, which extends through the ridge and the trails to Thurston Lake. Something really interesting as you're looking at it, it has an almost perfect circle shape. Crop circles? No. It actually used to be a horse track. It is also said that the original road from Lower Lake to Kelseyville went around Manning Flat to the east. They say that you can still go onto the northeast side of Manning Flat and see the remains of the original road. The road would close during wet winters due to the flooding that would happen and nobody would be able to get through. There's no place for the water to escape. Another story, during drought years when the water got very, very low, they said that you could see treetops in the water, which indicated that it was very possible that the lake was very, very low for a very long amount of time that allowed for the trees to grow. Now, these are just stories. Who knows for sure what is in that lake or what was in that lake at some point. At one point, there stood a sign on Manning Flat that read, "Guy's Fault." This started as a joke between a couple of friends, Jimmy and Guy. And the name kind of stuck because it was the guy's fault. So a lot of people around the area know this little canyon now as Guy's Fault. I mean, it's accurate. What do you guys think of this story? Should the county have helped out Manning back in the day? Do you think that could have avoided this whole situation? Who knows? I want to hear your opinion on it. Well, that is all on the story for this one today. I wish that I was able to find a little bit more, but I mean, there wasn't too much to this one. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. If you have any ideas for something that you would like to see next, make sure to comment below. This video was actually based on a recommendation. I will see you guys very soon. Have a good one.